There's only so much missing. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Just a tad bit more. Whoa! Look at that! The engine is running! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It sounds a bit weird. And it doesn't have any coolant in it. Oh, I don't like that. But I think it needs the wheels. What was that?
I put the key out and the parking brake engaged, and the parking brake is not set.
Oh, shit. So Christian bought me new brake fluid because I do not trust brake fluid that is older than 6 months. What?
Overflowed.
Oh my god.
I got the clutch working. That was a major debacle to bleed this thing. It just didn't want to bleed. The Land Rover procedure says you got to use the wife in the driver's seat method and pump, and then go in there and actuate that bleed screw and let it bleed out. It didn't work. I messed with it for like 3 hours until 10 o'clock yesterday evening, and then I read in the internet that you got to do a reversed bleeding on it and it will work. So I used my pressure bleeding tank here, hooked it up to the bleed nipple, got like 10 psi on it, let it run through until the reservoir was full, and I got clutch. What the hell, Land Rover? Can't even write the correct procedure for bleeding this thing. I did flush out with water the brake fluid here. Hopefully this is gonna clean it up a little bit, because I spilled a lot of brake fluid by messing with it for 3 hours in the dark. So I got clutch, which means I can put now load onto the vehicle. I can start the engine, let it run, give it some gas, and hit the brakes. Let's do that.
So you realize back to a non-EPF vehicle. Stop! That sounded weird. It's not torqued. You can't just floor it on the lift yet.
Oh shit. No, I got it torqued here.
No, all that chunk. We don't know what's torqued and what's not. So that moved.
Oh, you make things so complicated. But you know what that means?
Yes, I heard the oh my god.
I have
the clutch word.
Clutch.
It's in the afternoon now. We are moving on to the brakes. We have done enough videos on how to fix and service and do anything to the rear brake, the emergency parking brake, and even the front brakes. So that will not be part of the video, but will just show you how our day goes. So after one project is done, we hooked up the engine and the transmission. I always clean up the entire mess.
So I'm almost done adjusting the brake shoes over the wedge adjuster, setting them to the right torque on the disc brake, and now basically getting the wedge loose and set.
Yeah.
And then it's done. We can test if it works.
You will need the initialization procedure. Say it in your words. Because we get a lot of comments.
Okay, you need the brake shoe bedding in procedure.
Yeah, the bedding. Oh, you need to do a bedding in procedure, which I hate because Christian goes up to 30, then brakes, and up to 30, then brakes, and that at least 100 times. So he's going to try out the EPB.
Sounds beautiful.
Perfect. Maybe Christian will find the footage, but yesterday it was screaming at us.
Yeah, it was in the video about 45 seconds ago.
Yeah, okay. Grease for aluminum. Well, suited for aluminum. Patching up.
Yeah, wherever I see areas which I don't like.
Oh man, we have so much drilling to do before we can put that car back together.
This one and 2 others.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I got the nut in the center, torqued to 350 Newton meter, and I got it staked and marked.
We could only do that now that the brakes are working, because you can torque them to 350 without
the
brakes.
Yeah.
It's a wheel bearing. He actually refused, while we were in there, to put in new wheel bearings in the back.
No, they last forever.
So we know that we have to do a lot of torquing left over, but I don't know how much will be put into the video.
I need you in the driver's seat and hit the brake so I can torque it.
Yeah, so we can torque my beautiful wheel spacers to 140 Newton meters.
Okay. Hit the brakes. Wait.
I hear everything.
Okay, stay on it.
Oh my god, it's shaking so much.
Shaking you.
Yeah.
Okay, I do the other side.
Yeah.
Off camera.
Oh. So Christian is torquing the front drive shaft nut. The Haynes manual says 230 Newton meters, which we will put on. Land Rover says 350, which we did in the beginning, and that's when our wheel bearings always failed.
Step on the brakes.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I see it on the previous stake, because I'm reusing the nut, that it's perfect.
I'm gonna lose the wheel sooner or later on the Autobahn.
I'm staking the nut with a round chisel.
So I have to tell you every week where our glasses and silverware is. And if I don't know the procedure of staking a wheel nut, which we only do once every couple of years, he gets annoyed.
Yeah. Where are our glasses and silverware?
Yeah, I'll show you. So it is really best if you have a lathe in your kitchen, just in case you don't have a workshop in your basement. You really need it all the time.
Made me a nice pusher here with a little bit of a recess. So when I go on to stuff with this thing, it won't slip off. Looks beautiful, I think.
Yeah, looks beautiful.
We have no
Yeah, but
air
wait.
in the suspension right now. Everything is exhausted, so this is really easy to lift. All we gotta do now before we tighten the bushing, just like our viewers always tell us, we gotta get the hub into the correct height, which is here 485 millimeters. That is the right height.
He means the right height, R-I-D-E, not the correct height.
The right height, yeah.
The right height, yeah.
The height which we ride in.
Yes. And look how black that page is. So we have done it many, many times and have made a video on almost each and every occasion.
We gotta get 175 and you can't get a torque wrench on.
275.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna make them as tight as I possibly can without a torque wrench and not having good access to it.
So you got to push.
And then we lower the suspension down to get more room to them.
You got to pull until just before your back gives out.
So that one I put it to 250. That's good enough.
The top is 63 Newton meters. It's all the way in the back, you know.
Yeah. You gotta listen here.
Yeah.
275.
Yeah, okay. Now it's better.
Okay. Just again, for those people who went and got their coffee, okay? We had this up in the air and we pre-torqued them in right height, but I didn't have access. Now, once the bushings were clamped, we lowered it down and now we final torque them, okay?
So 175. So it's not 275.
Oh. Click, click. That was already 200.
Oh my god. So the tolling,
Use no more than 5 times.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
stop. So we are done with the rear driver side. Moving on to the rear passenger side.
Ooh.
What?
Oh, it's
You're
almost
completely
already-
off?
That's how I measured it on our mall crawler over there. And it was
Okay.
485.
Good.
So.
It cost me 30 bagel yesterday and it was cost by me
Because you lost it.
No.
I ordered it in Romania.
Yeah, a year ago. How am I supposed to know that we need them now? Actually, he probably ordered them for Fabian. I didn't even get a new disc brake.
No.
But
You need a new windshield next.
so now we're going to lower him down and put the wheels on. That will be the first time ever since May 6. So we still need to address our air compressor problem. And we can't access it because of the lift arm here. So we're going to put the car on the jack stands. Oh my God. The small ones in the back.
Okay.
Christian, what did you do?
Had this frame apart for weeks and months, and look at it. There is the connector loose. Did you see it? I think what happened is when you plug these in and you don't have silicone grease on the rubbers, they get under tension and snap back off, okay? So this is not my fault, okay? I'm wearing a NASA hat. Silicone grease? Very well. You are such a nice dear. Here.
Yeah.
Listen. Oh. Put the silicone grease on the housing, okay? Not into the contacts. Put it right in here, there. And when I now put it on, I don't have to force this connector anymore.
What is that? That's a valve.
It's supposed to start the compressor. Maybe I have to reset the fault.
Yeah. So that didn't work, so we're going to start the engine. It's such a beautiful engine. Oh, it's running. It's running. But it's really quiet. It doesn't sound normal. But maybe because the air tank and everything is empty, so... Brand new lock nuts for all 4 wheels. New lock nuts are just such a pleasure.
For the first time on its own wheels.
Ah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah.
Parking brake works.
Yeah.
So now we gotta see if the air compressor works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm putting a thread into the closure plug from the air tank. Then we can mount a fitting and then we can fill the air tank with our air compressor. And I always wanted to have that. See, you need a lathe about 5 times a day.
Yeah.
ISO G. We need a closure plug against dust. You have to look for something.
Looking beautiful.
So that's all our compressor got.
And it's not leaking. You know, it's just the electric motor running, you know, it's not pumping any air.
I investigated the faults we got from the gap tool. The first one says air supply component failure. Okay, that's a very general fault. For people who don't do work on the car, that means get your f***ing wallet out. It's going to be expensive because we're going to replace everything at Land Rover. Now, the second fault is pressure increase too slow. I looked this one up. Air suspension intake filler blocked or restricted. That's a hose which was dangling there. And we did it. We stretched it a little when we lifted the body off, remember?
And it's dangling
and
off?
Look. No, I disconnected it from the silencer here. Watch it. It's blocked.
With what?
With
paint?
No, there is no. I had this blocked off during painting. But we're gonna take a look on the inside and see why it is not. There is an air filter actually on the inside of your car. So we're gonna take a look at that air filter. We're gonna do a test without air filter. That's the simplest.
He took the hose off.
This time we got 900 kPa. That's about 10 bars. Before that we only had 600. It's working. See, the pressure is now increasing and the fault is staying away. We fixed it. That was the line which we stretched a little. So let's take a look at it.
Yeah, that was clogged.
Okay, what did you look into it?
Yes. Yeah, you can stop.
But this is how that filter looks. It's just two pieces of foam.
Yeah.
And it sits in this housing, and all I had to do is actually pull it down. But stupid me ripped it off. So I'm gonna have to see how I mount this now back in there, and then this problem is fixed.
No more fault?
No more fault. It completely inflated. It's done. We put in fluids, and then the car is
Ready to go on a test drive?
not quite.
No.
But look at the driveway.
Yeah. Well, not tonight. I gotta go soon and pick up Philip. You can clearly see what happens and why they are here for when Christian closes the door.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That's
and
impressive. That's why we call them flaps. So Land Rover got it all taken care of. And
Yeah.
Tahoe forgot this. Then in the video, you could see how the entire body lifted
Yeah.
out here. Show you guys what the car does when you slam a door shut, okay? Now watch this area here. You see that? It's vibrating.
and the Tahoe didn't cost that much less.
We're done yapping about the
Yeah.
poor Tahoe. We did
Yeah.
like the ride.
Yeah.
Power steering fluid, rear axle fluid, front axle fluid. I don't know, did we drain the transfer case and the transmission?
You gotta drain everything and put everything new in.
Yeah.
So I got the comment recently why I don't use a power steering fluid everybody else is using. You go to your oil finder and not some forum, you know? Okay, power steering is all filled up. The final day of the restoration of my Discovery suite has come. So I love my drawer setup, and it allows me to access the winch for the spare tire. Christian has a vacation day. Actually, he took the entire week off because tomorrow is October 3rd, which is a holiday in Germany. We plan to go on a trip to the Western Alps on Wednesday with that Discovery. Right, Christian?
Yes, I got all my red is black and plus is minus wired up here. That's basically the story of the unification between Eastern and Western Germany, okay? The turtles disappeared and they all drive Manta now.
Well, not now, but they all drove Manta back then.
Okay.
So I installed the spare wheel. So yeah, Christian hooked up the winch and it's working. My tiny little air compressor for pumping up the tires when we go off-roading. When we leave pavement, we are not going off-roading here in Europe.
And we're gonna get a synthetic rope. We're listening to our viewers and we listen to the desktop mechanics.
The desktop mechanics were really on it again in our last video.
Okay.
So that is now one big fat ass heavy car on my lift. Shit.
You broke the lift.
Again.
I don't know why it had a fault. Go get the oil for the rear diff, 140 weight oil.
Filling up the final drive, the rear differential, with 1.1 liter of SAA 75-14.
I found someone doing this for me now.
That is how you work on your apps. Click, click.
Wonderful.
Draining the transfer fluid. Yeah,
It's a little dark, okay?
yeah, a
but
little. The drain plug gets torqued to 22 Newton meters. Filling the transfer case with DTF1 Ravenol oil, made in Germany. So draining the transmission fluid.
Look at that.
Ooh, it doesn't look like new, Christian.
It's necessary.
35 Newton meters. So that pump will not give you any workout.
Yeah, that's the lazy ass pump. I'm using
lazy
that
ass
one. Filling 1.6 liter of SAE 75W90 GL5.
35 Newton meters.
That deserves a change.
I wanted to say it looks like new.
Okay, then I gotta show you this.
Oh no. 0.6 liter of 75W90 GL5. 34 Newton meters. Engine is running. We are going on our first test drive. Oh my god. We got this. Oh, now it stalled. Oh yeah, because of manual transmission. You gotta get used to that.
Well, the clutch is still a little bit jerky.
Oh, look how good that car is looking. Ah, there's still something not okay. Second attempt. Problems with the steering sensor. Uphill.
Okay, the clutch works over the full stroke, which is pretty good.
We should have cleaned the windshield.
Doesn't have more power.
Of course
There's
not.
a lot of blue smoke back there.
That's all the oil we put in while
Hopefully
assembling.
that's gonna clear up in a moment.
Oh yeah. It's all clear now. So it's not a Discovery 4.
No,
You know?
it's a car for slow going.
Yes.
Yeah, me
Better
too.
buckle up, buckle up.
So the engine sounds like a real diesel, not like on a Discovery 4.
Yeah.
The steering wheel is straight, which means the alignment is not completely out of whack.
Ah, don't go so fast. Oh my god, my poor... Oh, can I drive now?
Oh.
What?
I mean, I miss the manual transmission so much.
Me too.
If you got a weak engine, you want to have a manual transmission. That's just how it is.
And you sure you torqued the wheels?
No, did you?
No, you said you did. Oh my god.
And it sounds great.
Yeah. So we're not going to fill it up full because we may need to drop the gas tank again.
So, her first few yards now.
Oh yeah, the clutch is nice.
The clutch feels really nice. Yep, it's a weaker car for sure. So it's all dirty still. We gotta put the wheel arches and everything back in and put your off-road equipment back on, like your roof tent. And then we're gonna go on a shakedown run in the Alps. I have Robin fixing this thing quickly here. That's the mount for the parking brake cable, and it's almost through here. We're checking the air suspension for leaks here. No bubbles. He's got this all fixed for me and I can put it back in. Check this out. Forgot to mount this hose clamp. That would have been my coolant in the Alps. Looking good. We still missed this bolt here. No clue what happened. And fixed.
New rivet nuts for my rear bumper. That one is rusted, but you're probably not going to change it.
I'm not gonna change it.
Mounting all the plastic pieces.
These are all the parts I cleaned with the power washer, and I'm ready to put them back on. And I filmed them for you because Vera was so focused on this little plastic detail, she would have missed those.
Well, that
Okay.
was stuck in the mail for 2 weeks. The car still hasn't burnt down.
Yeah, and they all scared you so much, right? Desktop mechanics.
The final touches.
Power washed all of this stuff. It's almost 8 o'clock and we're almost done.
Final touches. So we started the restoration of my Discovery 3 on May 6th. That's when we took the first parts off, and we finished today, which is October 2nd. We took about 5 weeks off.
So next day, we worked until 10 yesterday, and we got only that day left to get everything ready for our trip this week into the Alps. So we have to get everything from this roof over onto this roof. It will become a mall crawler because we take everything out and clean it completely, detail the paint, and then we're gonna sell it. 73,000 kilometers, will be the only one on the market in Germany. So I checked the car for leaks yesterday already and didn't find any, which is really good. But when you look down here, this hose is a little bit far back for my taste. Here, that's better. Gonna let this run on each wheel for a bit, and hopefully we get some more air out, because the brakes are still kind of mushy. Is that a word? So when I check for leaks, it's really important to pay close attention to the diesel return line from the injectors, which is this line. It's hard to see, so I took like a little flashlight and lighted down to all of the injectors, also over there, to make sure there is no issue. That's very critical, or your car will light up on fire. So, as you get older in life, you may need a sticker like this. Now I got it. Oh, sorry. Did you hurt yourself as usual?
You really have to pull it straight, so I had to
Okay,
pull it through here.
so this release thing is broken, so I bought a new one in China for $8.99.
So after almost 5 months of restoration, that is the most important part.
So I got our Gold Zero hooked up here again. The Gold Zero supplies 12 volt or 230 volt to our fridge. It receives 230 volt from this little inverter, which is between the seats, to charge the Gold Zero. It also supplies the 24 volt to our diesel heater, which is up on the roof, and it receives the charging input from our solar panel up on the roof. So I still got to install this. All this is kind of haywired here, but it's okay. It's been doing its job for a while. And now we're going to run the Gold Zero, and you can see our fridge draws only 29 watts. This is the fridge, which I think is by far superior to any of the Dometic because it has that oscillating compressor. The fridge is absolutely durable, and I just like it from the style much better than a Dometic. It's not plastic-like looking, it's like Aussie quality looking.
Yeah.
Roof tent is on. Our rooftop box with the diesel heater is on. Gold Zero is installed, and all I gotta do now is put the covers here underneath on. Oh, we're still missing this bolt here. Didn't find this one. Let's see, one bolt we lost. Air conditioning is also filled. I had my friend doing that, even though we got a holiday. This is really great that he did this. Got all the heat shields on here. This is all beautiful. Got the covers on, all nice. This is all on. Looks beautiful. So, this baby is ready, and I replaced that transmission bolt. And that's it. All we gotta do is load it up a little bit and be ready to go on vacation. So I got this one all polished completely. It's a 4-step process, and it took me 6 hours. And now it's absolutely prestige. Beautiful. Like out of the store. So the sad thing is, it's gonna get sold now.
And it's time to say goodbye. So the Gruffalo is taking our Discovery 4 all the way to France.
Via the Netherlands.
And I hope you have a safe and enjoyable trip.
Thank you very much. And it's going to be fun to take it on the Autobahn and see how fast it will really go.
Oh, it's going fast. You're going to be so surprised because it's empty.
Because
You know,
I'm not used to driving one that only weighs 2.7
Yeah.
tons. And on the road with no speed limit.
Exactly.
And 258 horsepower.
You're gonna love it. We'll see each other.
Tschüss.
Yeah, ciao. Remember, that is our Discovery 4 where we rebuilt the engine.
Possibly first trip off the tarmac ever. I don't want to get too close to the right because there is a ditch there.